Just love this weather. Best time of year to be in the UK, sort of from May. I know we're not quite in May yet. Beltane on Friday, actually, just a reminder. But yeah, May and June in the UK are just the best times. The leaves on the trees are just that really vibrant green, and everything's looking wonderful and beautiful. So the other day I was talking about making a medicine wheel in your garden and how you should go about doing that. And first off, what you need are some nice stones. Now, it doesn't really matter where you get your stones from, but what is important is that you ask their permission to take them away and explain what you're doing. Explain that you're wanting to set up a medicine wheel in your garden or wherever you want to do it, and is it okay to remove them for this purpose, because some stone people are guardians and don't like to be removed, and some hold, gnomes live in them. So you need to ask the stone if they have gnomes living in them, and if they do, you can either ask the gnome to move itself into another stone, it's Matarafi, or choose another one, which is my advice really, because you don't want a grumpy gnome in your garden. And how do you know? Is it, are you hearing an audible answer? And the answer to that is no. That you use your intuition and just get a feeling of whether that stone is okay with being removed. So you want to choose 4 stones, and it doesn't really matter what size you have. I mean, they can all be round stones, or you can round is a good shape, because that reflects the hoop and the circle of life and the circle of everything. But you don't necessarily have to have a round one. But really just choosing quite carefully your stones, and you need 4 for the most simple of medicine wheels. 4 nice rounded stones. If you're going on to build a more complex one, you can have 8 stones, which then not only represents the 4 directions, but also the 4 cross quarters. So the, like Beltane, Samhain, Imbolc, and then you can go on to Lunasa. And then you can go on to adding in stones for the equinoxes and the solstices. So yeah, it's up to you. I mean, if this is your first time, I would suggest you just start with 4 stones. And there's a couple of really nice circular stones, so I'd find something to match those. And once you have your stones, take them back to the house, obviously, or you can even do it outside in the wild. I could build one here down by the stream, and find a suitable place in your garden. So how I would do that is really just, again, all by intuition, just feeling where you think that the most appropriate place for your stone circle, your medicine wheel, will be. So to find your perfect space in your garden for your medicine wheel, you can use a pendulum if you like. Actually, you can just walk around and ask the pendulum to show you the best place. But I think just using your intuition is good. That will, tap into where you think is the best place. Mine is just off the path, so it's not being trodden on a daily basis. It's not taking up space that I've allocated for vegetables. So it's just nestled in these sort of wild bit of the garden, which is really nice. I've collected some pheasant feathers yesterday that I found on the road, and I put those as a little offering. And I might just clear out some of these leaves that keep blowing off this tree. I don't know what they are. Just tidy it up a little bit. Yeah. It's a nice spot for it to be. You can use coloured stones for the directions as well. So the south is represented by the colour yellow. So if you can find, different coloured pebbles perhaps on the beach, black for the west, white for the north, and red for the east. That works really nicely as well. But really, just any stone that speaks to you, that feels it wants to be in your medicine wheel, is great. So the next thing you'd want to do is, once you've got all your stones ready and you've found the place that you'd like to put your medicine wheel, is to sage yourself or cleanse yourself with some mugwort, or whatever you use to cleanse your aura, your body, and the space that you're going to do it. You can also add a ring of tobacco or corn or whatever sacred herb you have to hand, that to create a circle where you want those stones to go. And once you've laid out a circle of tobacco or corn or mugwort or wormwood, whatever herbs you want to use, and you've honoured that space, you then stand in the middle of it if you can. So even if it's just the width of your feet, just stand there and face due south. So you might need a compass to find south, or do it at midday when the sun's shining, and that will give you your due south. And then from that, north's behind you, east is on your left hand side, and west will be on your right. And then, with reverence, hold either your yellow stone or the stone that you've chosen to sit in the south position high above your head, and just say a small prayer to the spirits and powers of the south. And you can incorporate the elements of the south if you like, and I'll probably do another video on what elements are associated with each direction at another time. And place your stone in the position of the south direction. And then you turn to face the west, and you do the same. You take the stone that's you want to place in the west direction, you raise it above your head, you give thanks to the west and the spirits and powers of the west, and maybe incorporate some of the elements, and just a short prayer to the west direction, and place that on the ground, on the edge of on the circle of your sacred herbs. And then turning round to the north, which is behind me at the moment, and do the same. Turning to the east and doing the same. And you can, if you have a song that you want to sing to each of the directions, that's a lovely thing to do. Spirit loves a song. And then if you're going to carry on with putting stones in the cross quarters, you do the same. So you take the stone that you want to be in the southwest direction, say some prayer for that direction, and put your stone down and carry on round the circle. And really that's the essence of building a medicine wheel, as long as it is done with reverence, because it's a sacred space. It's a sacred acupuncture point that is bringing energy into your garden and or into your home. And it's a really simple ritual if done with reverence and gratitude, and honouring the spirits of each of the directions. So it'd be really nice to hear from you to see whether you put a medicine wheel in your garden and how that went, and whether you notice any change in the energies in your garden once you've done it. And I would recommend that you tend to it, maybe not on a daily basis, but regularly, that it's kept clear, that the center of the circle is kept clear of any debris or anything like that, because the center is where the center of the universe is. That's the center of you as well, so everything that emanates out from this sacred hoop is coming from that central space. So it's good to keep that clean and fresh. And then you can adorn it with flowers, or you can give gifts of honey or tobacco or any sacred herbs and flowers, just to honor it on a daily basis. You can add crystals to it, or eventually perhaps bring more stones and fill in the gaps. So it's up to you. It's like, your outdoor altar. So do let me know how you get on. And as I say, if you'd like to know more about the medicine wheel teachings, drop me a comment below and I'll see what I can do. Okay, ciao for now.